This is Justin on Tuesday, December 20th, 2022, taking a look at SPY. So I'm zoomed out a bit just to kind of show the general trend we've been in. And it's been kind of like this. So we were mostly going down this day. We had a pretty nice move with that bear, a bull candle with the bear 10 EMA setup. Had the same kind of setup here. And then because we didn't really gap the next day, we had to wait a while, and it wasn't until about right here. So here we are about an hour and a half or so, I think it was, an hour, somewhere between an hour and a half into the day. And then today, something different happened. So I kind of warned yesterday when I was talking about this. It's like, okay, this looks the same. This looks the same. This is pushed a little bit differently. We still made a new low, pushed down lower. Well, today we kind of set up the same where we had some bull candles in here looking like it did this day and looking like it did on this day, but it was a no gap kind of a day. So it should have acted like this, where it went sideways for a while. Just ignore it, don't look for anything. Instead, we've made a new low right away. Now we'll zoom in on the day. We'll zoom in on what happened here because we took out, this was candles taking out yesterday's low. There was a bear trap. And then we raced out of there, rallying, looked like it was a strong day. Instead, it just turned into a choppy day. It was, come on, it's being slow. There we go. Other than this, the rest of the day was inside of yesterday's range. Other than this, so it's just a lower wick. Go look at the daily. It's just a little bit of a lower wick. It would have been 6 bear candles in a row. Trap some people. I talked about this yesterday. We should go sideways, should get some resting. That's what we did back over here. Even the last 3 of these 6 bear candles were actually more so sideways. There were some directional moves in there, more so sideways. So just be careful not to take that trade. It did have a 10 EMA setup right here, except it didn't gap. So you're not going to take it till an hour's gone by. So you're not going to look for that kind of setup till 9:30. Just ignore all this. At that point, it's had a massive rally. It's right back up into resistance. It's right back up with the this kind of consolidation in here I was talking about. That's the area we got back into as kind of like retesting the high range of this. If you draw a line from the low to the highs through here, you could actually draw it. Let me erase this. And I think I did draw it slight downtrend like that, like this, more of a compression. But looking at it today, these were the, it was support, broke through it right here. And then it became new resistance, and it stayed resistance all the way to today. So all that area, that zone, all right? So we're too close to that resistance to even take a setup. So here it is right before 9:30. It doesn't actually trigger till after 9:30. Technically, you could have gone bullish right there with the bear candle. And you've waited an hour to get entered right about probably 9:31 Central Time. And it should have gone like that, right? No, it's gone too far already. It's just a retracement. It's not going to go that far. Let's look for this to act as resistance again, because clearly this candle didn't work as a bullish 10 EMA setup. But here's a hammer right here, bull candle closing below the 10, really great hammer. Should bounce, except we're looking bearish because it's a 10 EMA setup. We just put in a double top right here. You can put your entry below there and your stop. I got too many sketches on here. All right, so your entry is right below there, and then your stop could go here, or a little more conservative would be up top. Either one of these, whether you did this one, that's about an R, or if you did this one, that's about an R. So maybe an R, 1.2 R, or something like that would be target. You got kind of some another entry here that would have been really tight, but that could have worked. That would have been a target about right down here. After these bull candles right here, probably setting a target around the midpoint of that, right back at the open price, would actually be a really nice target. So probably a target right through here that would have filled. That would have been a really good bear trade. And then now that it's come down here, it's actually made a low, now a higher low. It's kind of hard to see those. We've been making lower lows. Here all of a sudden we made a new low, and now we're making a higher low. So it's like, okay, that could be some sort of wonky sort of reversal thing. Like maybe, I don't really think that's a neckline, but maybe we've got something bigger brewing over here where we've got some sort of a shape like that, whatever that is. It's not clearly head and shoulders. But we're kind of chopping back up, making a little bit of a wedge. And then we get a bear candle closing above the 10, and that is a bull setup with a higher low, and we've got room to the resistance. So yeah, let's try it. And what would have happened? You got pretty immediately triggered in, and then you got 5 bull candles in a row. Just get out on the 5th one. That's in the rules. So you can do that. It is counter trend, so you don't have to take it. Probably shouldn't take it. We got another one here. We get another bearish setup here, but that one doesn't trigger. Actually, we actually ended up getting more bear setups. So see where this one is right here? That was a setup with entry here and a stop. Conservative there, a little bit tighter here. Look at this. We actually have a hammer here. And if this candle didn't trigger it, then this candle would have added to it. And so you have kind of 2 bull candles closing below the 10. And that would have been, let me redraw this. So that would have been entry here, and then aggressive stop here, more comfortable stop here. And it's later in the day, so you're going to want to be watching one of those. You can't just let it, go for an hour because the market's going to close pretty soon. So you got to keep an eye on one of these. Where do you want the target to be on something like this? If it's this range, yeah, it's just set it for an R, look for a scalp, and your target's probably around here. If your risk is up that high, I don't know that you can get 1, but if you set a target here, now you're asking for it to push below this, which this is pretty aggressively making higher lows. So maybe just targeting the same low here would have been nice, and that mostly would have worked. But that's just kind of a way to walk through the day and see, okay, that same kind of candle came in about the same location, almost the same setup, and it's going off of the same resistance, same kind of thing, just a wider double top than this one was. Same setup, at the resistance that we saw from the previous day. So yeah, really nice bear 10 EMA setups right here and here. We've got a bigger sort of compression going on like this. This is resting. This is a bull candle. We could crush lower from here. We keep going down. We're right back into this range where we had some bullishness. Maybe some folks who were buying through here remember that, and they're trying to buy around the same price, around 380. Maybe that's a nice round number for people. We did close this gap, so this is it was a bullish gap and go. We have closed that gap. We actually introduced another one. This is almost a big island. All of this is almost an island. If you don't count the wicks, it is. Because all of this, I think actually technically it has to gap above all this stuff. Well, no, that would have been like an all-time high one. I think this still would have counted except for the wick there. Because yeah, you want to see it clear straight across like this. Like that. Oh, like that. Like that would be the range that you wanted to gap past both times, both ways. More or less got it. Kind of an island, mostly an island reversal. We'll just call it a big island reversal. I still like the idea of coming back up and retesting, but I don't know that we're going to get back up to the 100. Let me jump over to the SPX because I have more lines over there because I've been looking at that longer. And so these green lines, they are now in between where we closed today and the 100. So we go down to the 3-minute. We'll see very similar how things moved. We can zoom in on basically the same things. We can see we move down, we have the same sort of kind of inside gap that looks like yesterday's gap, and then trap some bears, rally, same kind of thing. But we're running right back into these green lines. And one thing I thought about it after I finished the video. I switched back over to SPX, looked at yesterday. Remember the candle we were talking about? Look at this. Look at that. 10 EMA right there. Get in below there. The stop could be right here. Like that's strong. And then that moved quick. You get the same kind of compression here. See, I did it again. I drew it at a down angle, but here's your low, here's your high, here's your high, here's your high, here's your high. All that is resistance. And it's just a big S curve down lower. Same setup on the SPX, but I really like that candle right there. Just the stair stepping going on right here before it crushes lower. Really cool stuff. So today, let's zoom back in on this. Actually, let's get a little tighter in here and see what's going on. So I would like it to come back into these green lines. I think we get a little bit of some strength going right into Christmas. I did look, it looks like the market's open Friday. So it's just closed Monday in observation of Christmas. But it looks like Friday's open in the whole day. If someone knows and wants to comment, for sure. But where I checked, it looks like it's a full day, which I thought it would have been at least a half day. So, or at most a half day, I should say. But anyway, so Wednesday, I would like to see it retrace into these green lines. I think these would be great targets. I'll hover over them. These lines are about 38.75, 38.58, 58, and 38.40. So these are some really good levels. They've been in here for a while. We were interacting with them some the last couple days. We had that amazing 3-minute candle, bullish candle setting up the bear 10 EMA yesterday. That would played out amazingly. What if we can get something like that? I'm just seeing some more complex patterns here. I'm seeing some more like I said, kind of like this like a shoulder and then a head, and then what if we get another thing like this? Oops, bumped a button like this and come back into that. So what if we pause here, like what if these are targets and we can get up to here? It's like that is an inverted head and shoulders. If I could draw it better, it would look like that, something like that. Maybe could be. I'm not saying it's going to reverse, because we could just come right back up into this, or this is these pivots, but I just really like that candle, and some of this lines up really well with kind of a smaller inverted head and shoulders here, and then that retested and then started to bounce but then collapsed. So these patterns are in here. Anytime you've got this choppiness, it feels like choppiness, but there's patterns to it. There's just ebbs and flows. And so the latest one I'm seeing is just this kind of compression, but just like I drew this one, this is where it's like I need to draw some real lines in here and just line them up precisely and see, okay, does this line fit that, and does this line fit this? And then, is it something where, that's a really, the same kind of angle on these? Is that, what would that be if we said, okay, that's the same angle as that one, that kind of stuff. Does this one have to come down like this? Is that the bigger picture? I don't know, but this is really compressed. We had just, no gap the last 2 days. If we do another no gap tomorrow, I'm going to look for it to break down, retest, and roll, or break up, retest, and climb. I don't think we're going to sit idle all day Wednesday. I don't know if there's any announcement things at noon or 1. Watch out for that. But if we can get something going, like what if we run right into this, come back, and we start to go? It's like look for a consolidation like this. That's all we can keep my eye on. If actually I can only available to trade some of the morning, so not sure how much I'll actually be able to track things, but I'll keep an eye on this. And I don't know that I'm gonna be able to do videos the rest of this week. I'm gonna try and bring my setup along with some travel plans, but this might be it till next Tuesday. Next week I should be able to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but yeah, this might be it for the week here. So I'll try and do a recap, kind of like the last 4 days, just kind of zooming out like I got on the screen here, and do kind of something like that next Tuesday and just see, okay, where did we actually end up? Market is closed Monday in observation of Christmas. But Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you for watching these. Hope you enjoy. Please give it a like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. And yeah, take care. Merry Christmas. Thanks.